You want to hear the good news or the bad news? The good news is Barcelona tied 1-1 and didn't lose. The bad news? What the hell was that? All right, guys. Barcelona versus Napoli. Stadio San Paolo in Naples. It was set to be an intense game. Everybody knew that. Knew they were going to play good defense, but even with that being said, I've got to say they played great defense. Barcelona watched Messi all game. That's kind of what happened, unfortunately. Quique Setien went with his age players, his players with experience over the youth. So you knew up front that he was going to be doing some sort of a possession tactic, but in the back, it was Umtiti, PK on the outside, Junior Firpo, and Semedo. So you figured, okay, we're going to have some slashing runs. We're going to do some overlap threats. That didn't really happen. In the middle, you had Busquets, who stayed back almost in a diamond formation with the two center backs most of the game. Started off with Rakitic, and it was painful to watch, guys. I mean, for the majority of the game, Barcelona, you'd have 4, 5, 6 players with the ball looking back at the ball, just waiting in the offensive, not even the offensive third, in the middle of the field. There was no penetration, there was no ball, there was no run, there was no movement. I'm not really sure what that was. I'm sure they had a tactic, but maybe it was just the defense was too good. You do have to give Napoli credit. That defense was tight. It didn't let much happen, and they're a good team. Wow. 29th minute, Mertens gets the ball. PK is pinched up ahead of all the other defenders, gets caught on a one-on-one, missed the ball. Ball went to Junior Firpo. Firpo had a terrible touch. He gets the ball, takes it to the line of the 18-yard box, crosses it to the other side. Mertens is who Mertens is. Cracked the ball far post. It was a beautiful shot. 1-0 Napoli. With all that being said, there was a lot of standing around, a lot of looking backward. The shape was really strange. I'm sure if I look back at it again, I'll be able to understand exactly what they're trying to do, I hope. But for the most part, imagine this. If you didn't watch this game, just imagine this. You see your offensive 18-yard box you're attacking. Put every single player on a half circle around the 18-yard box going to the half. It was basically, we never got in the box, and everyone was just sitting there waiting. If the ball was at the halfway line, you'd have 6 people looking back at the ball. When Messi got the ball, he looked on today. He was moving, he was taking people on, he was megging people. He was doing his thing, but the movement off of Messi was not there, period. He just wasn't there. And I kept screaming at my TV, hey, if you're going to have Semedo and you're going to have Junior Firpo on the outsides, let's start doing some overlapping runs. And for the most part, Napoli was stuck on their right side, so it left our right side attacking open. But even when the ball went out wide, there was no overlapping runs. It's like even when Semedo got the ball, for the most part, he would always play the ball back. No one ever took it to the line. No one ever got some crosses in. I'm not sure what's happening. Our defense, guys, that was the worst I've seen them in a long, long time. I mean, Junior Firpo and Semedo missing headers, missing balls, diving in. Players were getting caught every single time in between. I mean, there was always people behind them just open, hoping it was offsides. And then you find out ref didn't flag offsides, just got burned, right? I mean, it was painful. This was a very painful defensive experience. Then I thought, okay, we're going to go into half down 1-0. But the benefit is maybe we're waiting for Napoli to get tired. But Mertens actually went off with a foul. He kicked up, hit the bottom of Busquets' foot, so he was hurt, had to go off the field. So, you thought, okay, well, maybe we can, counterattack with that monster out of the game. Barcelona's transitional play was entirely too slow. They jog up the field, they jog back the field. I'm not really sure what's happening. We're lucky to only be scored on one time. Our defense was rough. I'm not sure what exactly formation we're playing, because if you screenshotted any point in time in that game, you would not understand who was in what position. How are we getting men caught behind us all the time? I mean, it's really, really frustrating. Okay, So then you're thinking, we need to make some changes. Quiques at the end did not make very many changes, not ones that he wasn't forced to do. He subbed Rakitic in for Arthur about the 55th minute to get a little bit of, I'm guessing the idea was to get some action, some movement on the ball in the middle. It started to work a little better. It was a little better. Insigne looked good. Barcelona was starting to get them flustered, so you were hoping something would happen. Umtiti looks a step off, guys. And now that you have PK going down, it's going to be Lenglet and Umtiti back there, but Umtiti looks a step off. Ter Stegen did have some great saves, did save us from getting scored on a few times. That was great. Once again, at the end of the game, it was like a car wreck. So you see all these things happen. You're starting to see all these fouls piling up. You're starting to see all these cards. Vidal got a double yellow card. I mean, he now has a red card, which is not great. You could have seen that coming. That first sliding tackle that got him, the first yellow was almost identical to the second one. He had bad intentions all game. That's what you love about him, but unfortunately, that's going to hurt. In the 90th minute, PK went down with an injury on his ankle. He went up for a header, came back down, looked like he rolled it. Not trying to be negative. I'm just so disappointed because the game was going so well. One good positive side, the goal we had, it's because Semedo finally took advantage of the right side being completely wide open the entire game. Took the ball in the 18-yard box, crossed it, Griezmann scored. Boom. Okay, and I'm thinking, that's what I've been talking about this whole game. Why aren't they using the width of the field? And then we get Ansu Fati subbed in at like the 88th minute, right? So maybe that's just for a rest for Griezmann, because as far as any tactical changes, we didn't see any. Very disappointed, guys. I know they'll turn it around. Got a Clasico coming up. This is a tough team, but we did not help ourselves.